boys and girls, unprecedented transfer activity, unbridled naughtiness, some might say. This really is, I've never known anything like it. Is a leak from the club. Most transfer deals are expected to be concluded by Monday. The only one I would put outside of those parameters is Obi Wan-Bissaka. That's a less ahead than the others. So let's just go through them very, very quickly now, which is obviously Crysencio Summerville. We like a nickname over on this channel, so hence Obi Wan-Bissaka. We got Jimmy Summerville, and I've decided to go with Fullkrug. Why not? It's far more flattering than the one that I said yesterday, and we're looking for something, and he gives it, he's got the biceps showing, he's got this, it's the Hulk against the Beast. We got the Hulk and the Beast. So we got Fullkrug. He's flying over today to Biggin Hill Airport. We'll get to that in just a bit. And then we've got Guido Rodriguez. I think I'm going with nickname. I think I'm going with the Budgie Smuggler for him, because obviously Guido, Speedo. I didn't want to go down the route of doing the other one. Well, that wouldn't be nice at all. So we're going with the Budgie Smuggler for him. So I think all the nicknames are sorted out. So I don't know what the club are waiting on. I've managed to sort my nicknames out quicker than the club have got these transfers wrapped up. But anyway, the club are saying they expect the majority of these to be done by Monday. So yesterday, Crysencio, a.k.a. Jimmy Summerville, had the second part of his West Ham medical. And that, obviously, well, he passed it, clearly. Breaking news on that one. He then spent the rest of the day having his photograph taken. I believe he visited the stadium and Rush Green for the second time. I think he'd actually been at Rush Green the previous day. Pictures taken, I'm sure there were bubbles, lots of doing that. And, and some video. What you've got to remember is the media team are out in the States, or out in Florida at the moment, being blasted by a hurricane, probably. So there's not many people left over here. So it might have been just done by like the Office Junior with his iPhone or something like that. But they spent the day doing the media stuff. Most of the documents are signed. Registration still needs to be sent off. Quite possibly by the time you watch this video, all that sort of stuff is done anyway. Yes, but it is important to remember West Ham are a football club, and we do have a match today. So I understand that old Jimmy's going to stay over here now rather than travel to meet the squad, who are going to basically be travelling back from the States after that Crystal Palace game. It's meant to be on at midnight tonight. Your guess is as good as mine, quite frankly. We just don't know. I mean, we are literally relying on the weather to make that happen, really, aren't we? So, I mean, that's all-round good news. The Pocket Rocket, the Dutch Wizards, I'm sure there's more than that to come, but I really like him. Looks a really good player, really, really skillful player, and I think will just complement the whole rest of the squad. We're building a formidable squad. This is incredibly exciting. This is it. This is peak transfer window excitement. This is why you refresh your browser. This is why you get up in the morning, you switch on Sky Sports. This is why you look on social media. This is why you do everything else that you do in the hope that West Ham are going to sign a player. And this is it. This will be a memorable moment now. The time that weekend when West Ham signed 3 or 4 players. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And good players too. You know, some really decent signings in there. You know, there's promise, there's established experience, and a World Cup winner. That was amazing. To keep that quiet was incredible. I mean, they've done well. We've been talking about it all week, haven't we? How the club have been keeping certain things under wraps. But look, no one saw that coming. Nobody. No, there wasn't even, we didn't discuss it on this channel. There was no one else. Fabrizio Romano or anybody weren't discussing it. It just... Oh, they managed to deliver the Budgie Smuggler under the radar. He's got his medical today as well. So, I mean, that's looking really, really good. In terms of Fullkrug, well, he is flying over today. Well, I say flying over. He's using a plane. It's important to remember he's the Hulk and he's not Iron Man, right? So he can't fly. So he's getting on a plane. Steidten Airways. I'll tell you, the share prices dropped. Let's be fair. The share prices dropped in Steidten Airlines, didn't they? Probably about a week ago. They're honestly, on the FTSE index, they are rising high. They really are. He'd be able to, I reckon he should invest in his own Learjet, basically. So he's flying over, not Steidten. Fullkrug is flying over from Switzerland to Biggin Hill Airport today. And he's going to have his medical. I'm sure he's seen his muscles. He's going he's going to break machinery. Never mind, you know when they put a strap around, you know, they do the blood pressure, they put a strap around, I reckon they'll do that, and he'll go, boom, and it'll pop off. He's an impressive specimen. This is amazing, the Hulk against the Beast. Tell you what, Antonio will fancy his chances on this. I really do. I think that had West Ham spent £50 million on a striker, 40-50, big money, big wages, 100 grand a week, I think Antonio sort of can't play and his days are numbered. I just wonder if he'll be looking at this now thinking, actually, I fancy this. It's slightly different. It's not the same pressure when you spend... Well, we're committed to £23 million, and I think he's on about 50, 60 grand a week. He's not on top dollar. He's only less than Antonio Fullkrug. So I think Antonio might fancy his chances. It'd be a really, really interesting battle. That's for sure anyway. So, yeah, watch this space. In terms of Guido the Speedo, the budgie smuggler, he is, again... expected to have his medical today. Now, look, I'm not going to pretend I knew this stuff. This is just sort of research that I looked at yesterday. Because, if I'm perfectly honest, I saw a picture of the budgie smuggler and Edson Alvarez together next to each other in a different kit. I thought, what's going on here? So I went and checked it out. So they both played for Club America over in Mexico. And they were teammates. They played 76 games together. Guido Rodriguez and Edson Alvarez for Club America. And I think at the time, for the majority of the games, Edson Alvarez was a centre-back. And the budgie smuggler was the central defensive midfielder. So I think it's probably fair to assume that he probably learned a lot of his crafty ways from Guido, in terms of his development from a central defender into a central defensive midfielder. Hopefully he didn't pick up the art of the cards and all the rest of it. But, I mean, this is a really, really decent, solid signing. I can't tell you anything about the player. I watched him play a little bit yesterday. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I've always known about this player. This is the guy I want. And I predicted it 6 months ago. None of it is true. None of that would be true. But I do sort of have faith that clearly he is going to be a specialist. He's going to be technically quite adept and a specialist at playing central defensive midfielder. And let's be fair, Edson Alvarez does get a lot of cards. And I think we clearly have a problem in central midfield. And I think that Julian Lopetegui would agree with that as well. I don't think he was too impressed. It'll be really interesting to see what happens. Not so much in this Crystal Palace game, but once these players get back. We are building a formidable squad. The Aaron-Wan-Bissaka one is more difficult to call. It changes, the story changes. So 1 minute you'll read that there is, and personal terms have been agreed, but we still yet to agree with Manchester United. Then you'll hear that actually we've agreed with Manchester United, the personal terms haven't been agreed. I think, reading between the lines, I think we probably have agreed personal terms with the player. I think there's some... I'm not sure. I don't want to say it and be wrong, but I think there might be some link with maybe the player and, you know, maybe agents that are favoured by West Ham. So I think that bit might easily be done. But don't take my word on that. So I think I might have heard it at some point. I think probably the problem is more with the club and this loyalty bonus stuff. But Manchester United need to sell him to move on. And what you keep reading, particularly from the sort of in the nose over in Germany, is that Manchester United need to sell Wan-Bissaka before they can start spending out any money. On the I can't. I've got it written down. Maserati. It don't matter anymore, does it? Whatever. You know the geezer. Bayern Munich right back. I've got it written down on my whiteboard over there. That's why I'm looking. Even though I've written it down. No. Nusier Maswari. Possibly. Something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We don't need to know about him anymore, do we? Well, apart from when we play him twice next season. Well, 3 times next season. Obviously, twice in the league and once in the FA Cup final when we win that. We haven't got to worry about Manchester United players too much. But before Manchester United can make a bid for this geezer, then they've got to sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka to West Ham. Does that make sense? Is that a sort of little round-up for everybody? It's close. We're going to be making I wouldn't be surprised if there is a signing announced today, but I don't know. Maybe they might save it for tomorrow. Let's be fair, because what they could do is what I would do. If I was West Ham media team, here's what I would do. They got a lot of content for today. We got a match. They can release all the pictures of the players arriving at the ground. They get off the coach. All the pictures they got on the website. Share them on social media. Some nice little clips of the stadium. Then an hour before kickoff, they can release the starting lineups, and then they got all that stuff, right? All the build up and then the game itself. And if West Ham lose 5-0, what they can do is they can bury the bad news immediately tomorrow. By everybody, Jimmy Summerville holding up the shirt, doing that. Not at the same time. I guess you could. I've got a shirt. I haven't got a shirt here. I just got him mixed up. He's trying to hold up the shirt and... Maybe.